Welcome back to Dragon of Icespire Peak Adventure Walkthrough Guide. Now today I will be doing the Dwarven Excavation Quest. So your quest goal is you need only to warn Dazlin and Norbis of the White Dragon. The grateful dwarves then tempt the adventurers with a quest of their own, offering their pair of sending stones as a reward if the characters rid the temple of the monsters within. They stay long enough to help Dazlin and Norbis. The characters encounter orcs before they leave. So in theory, you could just go and warn them and not clear the temple and leave and really only have to fight orcs. So then this could be another quest that would be pretty easy to get you up to level 4 or 3 or whatever your DM is doing. Okay, so now let's begin and go through the Dwarven Excavation. So first we got E1, the canyon. So the canyon floor is just strewn with rubble and there's not really too much here. E2, the ruined settlement. All knowledge of the settlement, including its name, vanished along with its original inhabitants, who were killed by an avalanche. The rubble that once buried the settlement have been hauled away, leaving the outlines of stone building visible or collapsed walls. A stone well on the far side of the ruins is filled with rubble. The settlement has been thoroughly ransacked. So if you search the ruins, you might find crushed dwarf bones and signs of recent campfires, but nothing of value. E3, Courtyard and Temple facade. So here there's a partially collapsed 10-foot high wall that separates this courtyard from the settlement west of it. 3 heaps of rubble are piled high in this area. Hewn from the canyon's back wall, a 30-foot high temple facade features steps rising to a stone platform. Cut into this facade is a 10-foot high open doorway flanked by crumbling life-size granite statues of cloaked dwarves. So here you will actually encounter Dazlin and Norbis eating food behind the easternmost rubble pile while keeping an eye on the temple entrance. Now these dwarves, again, will offer you sending stones if you kill all the monsters in this area. And they also offer to help you, so which is good to have 2 additional characters to your party. Now they're only commoners, so they're not too powerful, but any little bit helps. Next we got E4, Dusty Foyer. Spikes hammered into the floor hold open 2 sets of double doors. A once secret door to the north stands open, with a room beyond it holding nothing but rubble. Now we enter the temple. This area contains 5 secret doors, including one that opens up to one of the stone pillars holding up the ceiling. A blood-stained limestone altar stands at the far end of the room. There is treasure. The secret door in the pillar conceals a cavity packed with dwarf skulls that tumble out when the door is opened. At the bottom of the cavity is an unlocked stone coffer containing 15 gemstones worth 10 gold each. And this is where you will fight your ochre jellies. Now, like I said at the beginning, depending how many people you have in your party, the harder this will be. Now, if you have one person, you only have to fight 1 ochre jelly, but it's still a deadly encounter, but at level 3, it shouldn't be too bad. Now, if you have 2 or more, you have to fight 2 ochre jellies. So ochre jellies aren't too bad. Their armor class is only 8. It's their immunities that make them deadly. Now, if you hit it with lightning or slashing, it splits into 2 new jellies. Now, their hit points is reduced, but that just means there are more monsters for you that could potentially kill you. So do not hit it with lightning or slashing. Now, they only got 45 HP, and their speed is only 10 feet, which is fantastic. But they do have climbing. Now, if you have a spell that could potentially freeze them in place, then they won't be able to move at all. Are resistant to acid, and they are immune to lightning and slashing, blinded, charmed, deafen, exhaustion, brighten, and prone. They can climb up walls, and they only get 1 attack. Their average damage for an attack is about 12. On a normal hit, they do 9 bludgeoning damage plus 3 acid damage, and they get a plus 4 to hit. So all in all, if you can freeze them in place, then they won't be able to move, almost like a mimic, but a little easier. And they got less hit points, so you can definitely kill them easy enough. So there's a bunch of secret rooms now that you can explore if you wish to find them. Try to find them. We got the partially collapsed room. An earthquake collapsed part of this room, which holds nothing of value. We got a secret tunnel. Trapped behind the secret doors, there's another ochre jelly, which lurks in the rubble at the south end of this hall. Then you have the priest's bedchamber. 3 stone bed frames stand against the east wall. Not really much of value here, except it connects to another secret door, the vestry. An empty stone font just out of the southwest wall. A stone wardrobe against the east wall holds the rotted remains of 2 suits of red leather armor. And that room can lead to the partially collapsed room. Half buried in the rubble here is the skeleton of a dwarf priest wearing rotted red leather armor. The dwarf was killed when part of the room collapsed. There's also treasure in here. Around the skeleton's neck hangs a holy symbol of Abathor, a tiny jeweled dagger on a silver chain. The symbol is inscribed with dwarvish runes that translate to "Greed is good" and is worth 50 gold. And then the last room is the Hall of Greed. To reach this room, you must clear away the rubble that seals it off, which takes a single character 40 hours. Multiple characters working together can reduce the time proportionately. An alcove in the south wall holds the rubble of a shattered statue. An alcove to the north holds a statue of a dwarf with horns, which stares greedily at a glowing green gem in its hands. If the gem is taken, it turns to dust and the statue explodes. Any creature within 10 feet of the exploding statue must make a DC 15 Dex saving throw, taking 22 piercing damage on a failed save or half as much on a successful one. Now, that is the whole map when it is explored. Now, on your way out, this is when orcs will attack. And again here, depending how many people you have in a party will determine how many orcs there are going to be. Now, you get an orc for every character in your party. So again, if there's only one of you, then you only have to fight 1 orc, and orcs really are not that strong. So regardless of how many characters you have, this will only be a medium encounter. So being level 3, orcs are pretty easy. Most of you could probably kill them in 1 shot. They only have an armor class of 13 and with only 15 health. They only get 1 attack, and on average, they only do with their great axe 9 damage, or with their javelin 6, and they get a +5 to hit. So they're not too much to fear. So other than that, that is it for the Dwarven Excavation. Now I hope this guide helps you out, and come back next time when we continue the quests. And make sure to subscribe, like, let me know what you think of the video in the comment section. You could also follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and watch my live streams at DMBalasar. And I hope to see you again soon. Yeah.